What's up? What's on tap? My name is George on tap today. This is the What's on Tap in Sports show. We got two topics for you today, including the Davante Adams trade. And by the way, quickly here, Amari Cooper just got traded as I was about to press live from the Cleveland Browns to the Buffalo Bills in what must feel like the greatest upgrade ever. Congratulations to the man. Nothing is a better feeling in the world from from Cleveland Browns, a dumpster fire of a franchise, to the Buffalo Bills, a Super Bowl contender. But not just that, from the one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, Deshaun Watson, to one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, Josh Allen. Amari Cooper must be feeling absolutely amazing right now. He must be doing jumping jacks, somersaults, and doing all type of celebratory things at this moment, as he's be packing his bags to head to Buffalo right now, to a playoff contender and a Super Bowl contender. So congratulations to Amari Cooper on that. So our two topics today are going to be the Davante Adams trade to the New York Jets, another person who probably feels pretty good right now, going from 2-4 to 2-4, and our three kings and three jesters of NFL quarterbacks, which is the three best quarterbacks in the NFL and the three worst quarterbacks in the NFL so far this season. But let's get started on our first topic, which is Davante Adams to to the New York Jets. The New York Jets have acquired Davante Adams from the Raiders. Well, here's the scoop. A third-round pick that could turn into a second-round pick depending on playing time. Aaron Rodgers is like a good kid on Christmas. He always gets his wish. Last week he said Robert Saleh, no thank you. This week he asked Papa Woody Johnson to give him Davante, and he called the Raiders and said, "Give me Adams." They said, "What are you giving us?" He said, "What is a conditional third-round pick?" Sacrificial lamb for us is Mike Williams, who is Rodgers threw under the bus and said, "You are the weakest link." This is a big, big, big deal because the Jets moved from plus 165 to plus 155 to make the playoffs. The Jets are now called the New York Packers. But what's one word to describe this move? That one word is accommodating. Plain and simple. This is an accommodation for Aaron Rodgers. This is Aaron Rodgers' team now. This is no longer the New York Jets team. It belongs to Aaron. It's going to fall with Aaron or go high with Aaron. He runs the franchise now. Woody Johnson basically said that when he got rid of Robert Saleh. And I know maybe Aaron's like, no, I had nothing to do with it. You had a lot to do with it, Aaron. We know your secrets. We know how you are behind the scenes. You can't fool us. But the one word is accommodating, because it seems like the New York Jets are trying to do every single thing they possibly can to accommodate Aaron Rodgers and make him comfortable and give him the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl, which he's not going to win because the Jets are 2-4. I know they have a lot of winnable games on their schedule. Maybe they can go 9-8, but they have to go literally 7-4 the rest of the way to make the playoffs or even have a sniff at the playoffs. But they're accommodating Aaron Rodgers, and rightfully so. When you have a quarterback that's in Aaron Rodgers' age and with Aaron Rodgers' ability, you have to accommodate. And that's what the Jets are doing. They're doing everything they can possibly do to make sure Aaron is comfortable, Aaron is happy, and Aaron Rodgers has his weapons. But Rodgers needs to get the job done. I know he threw Mike Williams under the bus, but he also underthrew Mike Williams. The thing with them is the Jets are desperate. This is desperation mode. They need Aaron Rodgers to work. Otherwise, their season's over and they have no quarterback, and they're not going to be bad enough to be picking in the top 5. And the crazy thing is, through 6 weeks last year with Zach Wilson, the Jets had 113 points. Through 6 games with Aaron Rodgers, they scored 113 points. The offense did look better last night with the motion and getting rid of Nathaniel Hackett's play calling, even though he's still on the staff. I don't know what he's really doing. He's just kind of hanging out with his buddy Aaron Rodgers. They did look better, and adding Davante Adams, another security blanket for Aaron Rodgers, is definitely going to do wonders. You got Garrett Wilson. You have Alan Lazard. You have Davante Adams. You have the wide receiver core. You have Braylon Allen and Brees Hall. You're going to be able to do anything you want weapon wise on offense. If they can protect Aaron Rodgers and continue to accommodate him, he's going to be happy. And who knows, maybe he'll come back for another season. But that's Davante Adams being traded from the putrid Raiders to the not so good Jets. 3 Jesters and 3 Kings of NFL quarterbacks. For every King's court, you do need one Jester. But let's talk about the obvious king first of a week. And that's Lamar. Don't call me king because we have Derrick Henry and he's called King Henry Jackson. But Lamar, let's admit, is electric. Lamar is fast. Lamar is fun. And Lamar should be the MVP. But voters get bored like little kids who played with new toys on Christmas for 2 days. They're finished giving him trophies, so he needs to go get his own trophy called the Super Bowl trophy. It's Lamar time in Baltimore all day, every day. He's a king. There's no doubt about that. Let's look at the other kings. So we have 3 kings and 3 jesters. We always have 3 of them. Lamar is definitely a king. He's a guy who, honestly, if you go look at his stats and how the Buffalo, I keep saying Buffalo because he just traded for Amari Cooper. The Baltimore Ravens have played. Lamar Jackson should be the MVP of the NFL again, but he's not going to get it because there's voter fatigue. Voters don't like to continue to give the same guy the MVP over and over again if they didn't win Super Bowls. So I cannot foresee a situation unless the Ravens literally run the table and Lamar Jackson has some insane stats that he wins the MVP. But he's king number 1. King number 2 is CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has been fantastic this year for the Houston Texans. Let's take a look at CJ Stroud's stats. The Texans are one of the best teams in all of football. There's going to be a matchup this week where might be a chance for kingdomhood between him and Jordan Love and the Packers. But CJ Stroud this year, 10 touchdowns, 4 picks, 1,577 yards. And it seems like he continually makes the right play, right choices, great leadership. The Texans are going to be flirting with that number 1 seed. They're 5-1. My third king, and everyone's going to disagree with this, is Patrick Mahomes, who's still favored to win the MVP award. I know Mahomes has not put up the stats he usually puts up, but it doesn't really matter to me. It really doesn't. This is not a stat padding situation. This is about who's the best quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes is always the best quarterback. He has 6 touchdowns, 6 picks, and only thrown for 1,200 yards. But their record speaks for itself. They're undefeated for a reason, and that's because of his poise, leadership. And that's what kings do. They have poise and leadership, and that's exactly what Mr. Patrick Mahomes is doing. Let's talk about our 3 jesters. Deshaun Watson. He should be benched. He just lost Amari Cooper to the Bills as I was recording this, and I know his stats looked okay last week against the Eagles, but the eye test, the way he plays, everything screams Deshaun Watson is a bad quarterback, bad human being. I can't believe I'm saying this. Probably a worse quarterback than human being. 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, but for 21.7 QBR. My second jester is Andy Dalton, who's probably not going to be the starter for too long in Carolina. Feel bad for him. It's plain and simple. Bryce Young probably should get the starting job back, even though he sucks. But you got to find out what they have with him. Andy Dalton is a jester as well. And my last jester is Will Levis, who is continually a walking meme, continues to do crazy things, continues to look like an absolute mess for the Titans, and is a firm spot on the jester board. Simply, those are my 3 kings and 3 jesters of the NFL so far throughout the season. Once again, the kings are Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and CJ Stroud. My jesters are Deshaun Watson, Will Levis, and Andy Dalton. I feel bad for some of them. Once they get benched, they're off the jester list, and you have to bring in new ones. But hey, they said Deshaun's not losing his job. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me about my Kings and Jesters. And that's our post-week 6 edition of the Kings and Jesters. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. That's the Sports on Tap, What's on Tap show by me, George on Tap. Biggest stories in sports of the day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.